Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everyone. This is an introductory video about Kuwait High School Programming Contest. Now, of course, this contest is meant to be uh, a way for students to be introduced into the programming world. Okay, meaning that even though it is classified as competitive programming contest, but our intention is to make it fun, to make it social, and to make it a way to create memorable experience for high school students. So in front of me is the main website of this contest. As you can see, we have multiple links for registration, dates, details. For me, in this video, I'm going to focus on the platform that we are going to use in the contest. How is it going to be operated, especially on the contest day itself? In addition, I will talk a little bit about uh, some of the details, okay, related to the contest. So let me start by going through the details. So, what are we looking at during the contest day? We are looking at multiple teams from can be like from a single school, you can have multiple teams, or from each school, you can have a single team. These teams are combined of or contains at least 3 team members. Actually, we push this number to 2, so you can have 2 team members or 3 maximum. A coach or a trainer per school or per team, and a single computer. That computer will be used by these 3 students to solve the questions. Okay. The competition will run for 3 hours. There will be 10 problems or 12 problems to solve. When I say problem, I'm going to also show you an example of a problem. It is basically a question that is meant to be answered using programming. This is the entire thing. So the more problems you solve, the more points you will score. And of course, the winner is whoever scores the uh, most number of points. Of course, when there is a tie between 2 teams, the tiebreaker will be the speed, meaning whoever solved the problem first will be counted as the ultimate winner. So when we are talking about programming, of course, there are many languages, as you know, the programming world. We have languages meant for the web, languages meant for operating system, languages meant for design, whatever. Here we are focusing on Python, one of the most used languages around the world. Of course, it is used for data analysis, it is used for creating desktop applications, even for the web. So it's an amazing language for the students to learn. Of course, there are no special requirements, meaning students can use an online compiler to run Python language without the need to install anything. Here we mention some requirements like Windows 11, of course, keyboard and mouse, standard input output is not needed exclusively. You can just run it online, and I'll show you a platform where you can run Python code online without the need to install anything on your personal PC. Of course, on the day of the contest, students, there's a breakdown we will include with the email. This is just, let me cover the things that need explaining and leave the, as they say, the details, these details for the email. Of course, this is where we expect you, KFAS, to contribute. So the role of a judge during the contest, of course, the contest itself is automatically judged. There is an online software, an online platform that all the participants will use that will be actually, it will perform the judging on our behalf. Okay, meaning when they submit a solution, it will be submitted through that platform, and that platform will do something called test cases on that problem and will determine if that solution is correct or not. So there's no hassle. It is completely automated. But what will be the role of the judge? The judge will be provided will be operational. His role or her role will be operational. They will monitor the students, make sure nobody explains some of the problems description. For example, if there are problems that are hard for the students to understand, they can request a clarification and the judge will try to explain the problem or clarify it. We'll discuss the constraints. If the student is not able to understand the constraint, of course, the judge can even go through the sample input output provided by the problem. Okay, so this is the actual judge. Of course, the actual judge also will start and announce the blind half hour, we call it. So the judge will announce the start of the contest. In addition, he or she will announce that we are approaching the blind hour or the blind half hour. This blind half hour, basically, as you all know, during the contest, the score will be implicitly shown to the participants, meaning there will be a shared scoreboard where they can see how many points each team scored. Now, in order to not spoil, as they say, spoil the ultimate winner, uh, before the end of the contest, by 1 hour, by half an hour, within this range, we will hide the scoreboard so the students will create the element of surprise and the element of urgency. Okay, so the students will try to one up each other. They will try to solve difficult problems maybe, or try to, push during this half an hour or 1 hour. Again, we are basically, we can say, replicating some of the element of KCPC, which is, we can say, the series, okay, version of this programming contest. In KCPC, of course, the mood is different. It is competitive. It is serious, as I mentioned. It is everybody's trying to, squeeze their brains. Of course, we want that also in our contest. We want a little bit of tension, but of course, we have to remember these are high school students. We want to make it friendly. We want the atmosphere to be social a little bit. So we are pushing for a different mood during this contest. Okay. Of course, as I mentioned, the online judge is the platform. It is called KOJ, stands for KTech Online Judge. It will do all the heavy lifting we don't have as judges. We just have to monitor, keep track, clarify for students, make sure, of course, there will be volunteers to make sure nobody's cheating, and so on and so forth. So the judge role is a little bit operational, as I mentioned, instead of being actual judging, meaning that they make sure the code is correct and make sure the submission, the style. Okay, we can have a little bit of criteria, and this we thought of it, of course, during our meetings. That, for example, uh, because not all teams will win, as we all know, we can have a different judging criteria where students who include comments throughout their code, who are taking care of formatting, for example, who's their code more presentable, maybe these students will win a different prize. Okay, so this is maybe where the judge can opt in and review the submissions, and maybe at the end of the contest, after everybody submitted all their solutions, of course, only correct solutions will go through this review process where the judge will tell, okay, this code, this team presented 3 problems. It was well formatted, comments everywhere. Their code is clean, the variable naming, all of these, of course, these are related to programming concepts. So if you're not familiar with programming, maybe you'll have difficulty understanding what I'm talking about. But usually, these are things we look for when we are reading the code. Is it readable, syntax, semantic, in terms of organization, code organization, these things we focus on. So this can be a different prize, for example. So the team who submitted the best presentable, the most professional code will win a different prize other than, of course, the scoring criteria. So scoring criteria and maybe coding style criteria. This is where the judge, this is where the human element is needed. Okay. So your role will be within this scope. So I hope this explains where KFAS can come into the picture in terms of judging. And we will be more than happy to have you, of course, as usual. Other than that, these are strategies, team distribution. Of course, usually we have, if we are having 3 team members, maybe we can say one team member is focused on writing the code. The other 2, maybe they are trying to plan for the code itself and read the problem and discuss how we can, for example, implement it in the best way to solve the problem. Okay. Uh, and you can see, like, for example, usually what you can bring, students are allowed to bring like sheets related to Python, previous problems, examples. They can bring basically anything with them, no problem. We will not limit them. Scoring, we mentioned the scoring. Speed points will be counted as tiebreaker. And this is really it. Okay, these are the basic concepts. Now, of course, since everything will be done through the platform, I thought I'd start my uh, journey from there. Of course, this website you can find it on our main website, ktech.edu.kw. You will find a link called Programming Contest, and you will find all the details here, including when the registration will end, the winners, the prizes, the topics covered. Of course, again, we are targeting high schoolers, so we're not diving too deep actually in terms of the scope of what aspects of Python are we covering. Okay, because we have to remember these are these students are beginner mostly in programming, so high level concepts maybe are not suited. Of course, some problems will require, let's say, higher understanding. Some problems will be more challenging than the others. And this is, of course, will create the differential, okay, in terms of submissions. Because if all the questions were easy, everybody will solve them, of course. Some of them were easy, some of them were hard. We'll have at least some variance, okay, when we are talking about the scoring. Okay. So this is our platform. It's called KOJ again. Actually, let me go here. Right now, let me just do one thing because I already joined this contest. Let me leave it. Okay. Okay. So right now in front of me is the platform. Right now I have no problems in front of me. This is the page where the participants where the participants can see all the problems. This is the submissions. Of course, we can see breakdown of the submissions, users, contests. This is the practice contest that we are going to use before the actual contest. About status, this is the status of the online judge that will do the judging. And then we have a participation guide. Let me show you the participation guide. Participation guide, basically, it's a self-help guide for all the students who would like to participate. We will make sure that everybody who's participating in the contest, of course, they need to have an account on this platform. Okay, and this is how you create an account. This is the registration link. It's very simple. All they need to do is follow these very simple steps, and they will be up and running with this platform. Of course, I have an account right now. You can see me, I'm logged in with this student called student 3. All I need to do is head to contests and then click on join. This is a practice contest, but the same steps exactly will apply during the actual contest. We will hide this contest and we will display only the competitive or the actual contest. In front of me, of course, you can see multiple problems and I can see the points that will be awarded for each problem. We might have some problems awarding higher points than others. It is still to be decided, and the number of users who solved or attempted to solve the problem. Let me show you an example of a problem. Let's pick a sweet problem. Okay, this is called donuts in a box. Okay, of course, what we are going for during this contest is not only to have, rigid kind of problems with lots of mathematics and complicated stuff. It's still too early for the students to be involved in these things. We are going to have problems like this, okay? Problems that are fun, a little bit with theme going around, okay? Like, for example, you can see here. Of course, let me explain the problem very quickly. The autonomy of the problem. The autonomy of the problem is basically we have the statement, the constraint, the input, the output, and the samples. The problem statement itself, of course, will explain the general idea of the problem. Here we can see that Rana likes donuts. She wants donuts. She went to donut shop. It's like telling a story. And then we have some examples that a single box can hold one donut, half dozen, six, so on and so forth. Help Rana know how many boxes does she need based on the box type and the number of donuts she wants to buy. So the inputs, we can say that the box type and the number of donuts. And you can see box type, string of these values. This is under constraints. So it can be single, half, dozen, party. And of course, this is the number of donuts. And the input will be in this format and the output will be in this format. So for example, if she want a single box and she has 12 donuts, that means I need 12 boxes. If she want half and she's having 12 donuts, that means she can distribute half per box, okay? Dozen and 12 donuts, of course, you can see in the picture, it will fit. No, actually, it's a different picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it is correct. A dozen will fit exactly in one box, and so on and so forth. So the picture is helping. Of course, we can clarify to the students also what does half and single and doesn't mean. All of these things we can clarify. We will try to have Arabic version also of each problem. And you can see it's fun. So how can I solve this? I can create coding for it. Assume that I created the code, and you can see we have this website actually that we will recommend for the students to use while practicing. And this website, they can write Python code and execute it online without the need to install anything. So this is print, and I believe input is how we capture. So I can say R equal input, and I can print R again, print R. So you can, it is interactive shell here. I can receive input and print output at the same time. So I can run it. It is waiting for input. I'll type 3, enter, and it printed 3 back to me. So it's perfect. We don't need, of course, the ads are a little bit annoying, but we can work around this, I think. But it is all we need, really, because remember, all of our problems can be maybe solved in 10 lines of code, not more than that. Maybe 20, okay, for the challenging problems. So this platform is perfect for our use case. Let me go back to our code. Now I've prepared, I believe here, a solution for this donuts in a box. I'm going to copy the solution and paste it. It's like I already did my test. Of course, I ran my code using that platform, which we will use on the day of the contest. Okay, I run it here. You can see I can run it, and I will type half, okay, enter, and then 12, enter, and it will print 2, okay, and this is the correct answer actually, which is perfect. Okay, so I'll take this code. This is I'm emulating what will happen in the actual contest. They will test the code here. Of course, they will run it multiple times. They will try to change things. They will not get it right from the first time for sure. They will need to test each test case of these, okay, which are presented here. So they will try maybe single 12. So let me run it again. I'll type single. Okay, single 12, and it will print 12. So this is how they're going to do the contest, solve the contest. They will try the sample cases and of course try to submit the solution. If all sample cases pass, usually that means it will be okay for them. We will not make it too difficult for them. Once they hit submit solution, they need to copy the code, paste it here, and submit it to the judge. The judge will try to evaluate all test cases and it will tell them automatically, congratulations, you passed everything and you received 100 points. Of course, the scoring is all or nothing, meaning if they failed one of the test cases, and we can actually emulate that. If I try to change the code, I'll change it to 19. I'll copy it and resubmit it again. Okay, and submit. You'll see that one of the test cases actually failed. The judge will not tell them exactly what went wrong. They have to not guess, make an educated guess on what went wrong. Okay, so in this case, if I go to submissions for donut in a box, we can see that my submission got 100% out of 100%. That means I received full points. And if I go to contests, to problems, we will see that this is circumference, donuts in a box here. We'll see that my 100% submission was accepted. If I submit something wrong afterwards, it doesn't matter. It will not be counted, okay? So, perfect. I have everything in front of me. Now, how to keep count of the points. Each team, they will have access to this board. Maybe, actually, we might hide this board because we're going to use our own board, a custom board, okay, where we can display also, if you want, we can display it's sponsored by whom, and we can put some branding. We already did some minimal branding. Let me show you. So this is the board that we are going to use for tracking the scores. So here I can see that student 3 already solved question A and question L. Okay. And of course, if we want to track, if we are going to use some kind of indicator that they solve the problem, by indicator, I mean that sometimes we use like balloons to show that these students solved problem A. So we'll give them pink balloon, for example. We are thinking of ribbons also, but anyway, we can click here and click here to tell them that to track that we already provided the indicator for these students that they solve these problems. Think of them as trophies, these indicators, okay? So this is regarding this point. In addition, we have this, by the way, this is the entire story of this board, of this platform. That's it. The entire purpose of this platform is to use it to submit the code and to be evaluated by the judge. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. If something went wrong, it will try to help you, give you that there are some failed test cases. If you get everything right, you will receive 100%. You receive the points. You can check the participants. Again, this ranking board, maybe we will hide it actually. We will use our own ranking board. And this is an example of our own ranking board. You can see we are not displaying any points, nothing. We don't want to create too much competitive stress between the students. Okay, we want it to be relaxed. So here in this board, we just want to give them an indication that maybe the most solved problem is A, for example. So students can shift their focus there. They can focus on problem A because maybe it is the easier problem to solve. Okay. So this might be the board that we will use for the students. And you can see it's very simple. It will display the account name, in this case, student 3. Usually, of course, once they register, we will make sure these usernames are actually the team name, okay? They will represent the team name. So this is regarding this board. And last but not least, we have the coaches board. And the coaches board, it's for the coaches and trainers. They will have full vision of everything. So you can see these are the problems, these are the scores, these are the users. Of course, the teams who scored the most points will come on top. So three kind of boards. Board for tracking, board for the students, we call it teams board, and board for coaches. Well, of course, there will be a countdown here, counting down until the blind hour or blind half hour. Once we reach that, it will automatically shut down. And of course, this just to create the element of excitement. In addition, we will create a playback board. That playback board just will play how minute by minute breakdown of how the score is being updated. What is the main benefit of that? It is to play back how teams are one-upping each other. For example, this team for most of the competition, it was scoring very low, but maybe at the last 1 hour, they managed to rise, in scoring, and they won like that. Okay, so it will play that they started here, then they moved here, then they moved here. We didn't prepare it yet, but we will have it ready. It will, of course, again, it will create element of excitement when we are announcing the winners. All of that, again, in an effort to make this competition fun and exciting for everyone. Of course, we are going to give students training before the competition, 2 days of training. In addition, we will create some tutorial videos for them. So everything will be ready for them. We will have hopefully a very fun atmosphere in the beginning of the contest. We are calling it icebreaker. In this icebreaker, we will have some games, programming related games. We will have some mood, fun mood going on, because this is our main focus of this competition. I think that's all for now. Thank you for sticking until the end, hopefully. And again, we are happy to have you. And that's all. Thank you.